Welcome back to Reddit Stories. I'm Shane, and today's theme is all about the mess. We got some messy stories here, and with me are two of the messiest people I've ever known, Angela and Amanda. There they are, pretending to be asleep. Already bringing the tea, bringing the drama.
Shut up, Dad. You're crazy. But what would you do if we were asleep?
Yeah, that would have been so fun. Did you believe it? Yeah, that would have been so fun. Did you believe it?
That
would have been so fun. Did you believe it? That would have been so fun. Did you believe it? That would have been so fun. Did you believe it? That would have been so fun. Did you believe it?
So it's all about messy stuff.
Take your pancakes out. It's Saturday morning.
What? Nobody ever takes pancakes out of what?
Take your
Take your
pancakes out.
It's Saturday morning. Welcome to Reddit Stories. I don't know. I'm thinking about like a funny.
Where are they taking them out from? The cupboards? They don't cook pancakes in the oven.
Look, these stories are gonna get messy, so let's get ready. Here we go. Our first story. This comes from True Off My Chest. Also was posted on Spilled Spiced Tea, a Reddit I've never heard about, but I'm guessing it's for
Spilled tea.
Some spilled tea. Here we go. I think my husband's mistress thinks he is richer than he actually is. My best friend thinks I am a douche because I am keeping silent. Husband in quotation marks because we are not married legally. Throwaway, please let me vent here. He's 39, I'm 39, mistress is 29, my best friend is 39. We've been together for 14 years, living together for 11.
So much exposition.
Yeah.
I know.
Is there 4 people?
So there's 4 people involved. So she's talking about her husband. She says, we've been together for 14 years, living together for 11. He came and told me that he was in love about 3 weeks ago. I was surprised at the lack of I had to give at receiving such information. I did love him, but maybe my love has always been conditional, and its survival depends on it being reciprocated because it literally vanished the second he confessed to me that he was in love with another woman. He didn't want a separation, but to maybe open the relationship or let his feelings for her subside. I said it was over. It was like I never had feelings for him ever. He was taken aback by my indifference, which I thought, the audacity. Did he want me to be hurt and suffer? I told him that he should be relieved that he didn't cause pain. Instead, he has been sulking since. Last Friday, I got home and his mistress was there, sitting in my kitchen sipping my tea. I felt nauseous because, seriously? I told him that this wasn't civil at all and to never be in my home again or I would call the cops. I went to my room and I heard her yelling at him for not standing up for her. Then I heard her saying something very curious. Why haven't you kicked her out yet? He was trying to tell her to lower her voice, whispering, later. We can discuss this later. She left and he came to me apologizing. He said, we didn't have sex here if this is what you're scared of. She just dropped by because I was working from home today. I told him that he had until the end of March to move out and to find somewhere to be during the weekends. This morning I changed all the locks. From now on, he isn't allowed in my place during my working hours, so if he starts later or finishes earlier, he needs to wait for me to come home and let him in. But his mistress's words stuck with me, so during the weekend, I have been stalking her social media. I think she thinks that he is rich, or at least that he owns my apartment. I think she also thinks that my parents' summer house and boat are his. Unfortunately, the loser has taken her there, probably bragging about his wealth because her hashtags were all about the good life. I was telling my best friend all of this, but she was more agitated than indignant on my behalf. She told me that he was scum not telling mistress the truth. I agreed, I know, right? But then she said I was no better, not explaining to her his situation either. I was dumbfounded, but she was serious. I told her that this wasn't my job to bring back mistress to earth. My best friend got very angry and demanded that I give her mistress's username so that she could warn her. No, I said, she called me a bigger douche than he is then. I don't know what's going on with these people. Have they gone mad or have I? When did our moral compass go askew like this? Can someone tell me that I am not insane? What a crazy situation.
I also love that it's just mistress.
I know, mistress. So, mistress is there. The mistress clearly thinks he's rich, but he's using all of her things.
Yeah.
Bragging about it.
But why the moral compass needing to be about
No, the friend is weak.
the wife?
what's going on with the
You have to warn him.
The friend is saying.
The friend said
Friend's saying you need to tell the mistress that
he's not
actually
rich.
not rich.
Exactly.
It's like,
I don't understand what that.
you don't have to look out for her
No.
at all. She's fine. That's not a lie that she needs to be warned about, right? Like, I think if he was like crazy or dangerous or something. It's like,
agree.
hey, you
Yeah,
should
yeah,
tell
yeah.
her that he's crazy.
It's like he steals money.
No, he's
Careful.
he's like she's also hopping into a really messy situation knowing that he's married or in another relationship. Like, if already you know someone's kind of a liar and a backstabber in that kind of way, you can't be too surprised if it turns out they're lying to you about something.
This is messy.
It's just super messy, but
Literally.
like all these people are kind of willingly like or the mistress is kind of willingly in this weird situation. She's doing the right thing by just kind of pushing it all away.
Really? I think that she should talk to both of them at the same time and go, I just want to get this straight. You guys know that house is mine and this apartment is mine.
I guess I support that only in case this gets trickier if he continues to pretend, and that's going to be more invasive of her life. You know, she doesn't owe anyone anything, but like doing it as a means of just like.
But if they're going to her house.
Oh yeah, I think she's assuming that they've gone there. Maybe not.
The Good Life. What a cringy
Good Life.
hashtag.
No.
I don't understand.
She likes rich things because the hashtag she
The Good Life?
I've never understood. Like, there's a lot of times people don't understand. They don't know that they are the other person, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I understand that. But to willingly go and be like, oh, this person's married, and I'm with them, and I'm gonna be in a relationship with them.
I
Like,
think-
that's, to me, I've always thought that's a little crazy.
Me too.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not the person, it's not the mistress's fault, but that person that they're dating could make them feel like they're the
It's
only
just
one.
kind of really love bombing them, telling
Or
them,
just
oh,
like
you're
manipulating
actually
them, being like, give me another month or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave her. You're the one, and that makes them feel empowered to be like, I know I'm the other woman, but he loves me. Is usually what I feel like I see in like
Yeah.
television movies and stuff.
There doesn't feel like there's a lot of context here. Like,
No, it's a very like surface story in many ways, but still.
So weird to be like, you have to tell him he's not rich.
yeah, she doesn't have to warn the girl at all. That's on him.
Her saying she's worse than her husband is.
What's going on with the
wild shit.
friends?
Friend's weird.
The friend needs to take a shower.
Wait a
messy.
Is the friend friends with the mistress?
You know, she sounds like just she's got very strong morals in her own way, and she feels very strongly about it. That's fine to believe that she should tell the mistress, but to say you're worse than your husband who's literally having an affair and all this stuff
Did the friend have an affair with the husband before?
Maybe she was like, I fell for the boat. I
Yeah.
don't want her to
She's like, wait, that house is yours?
Bunch of comments here. If the other woman had been completely unaware he was married, telling her would be the right thing to do. However, she clearly went into this relationship with your husband knowing he's married. So f her. She can find out the hard way. OP responded, oh, she knows who I am since she works with him and he wears a wedding band. Someone else said, your soon-to-be ex-husband sucks, and honestly, I don't think that's your friend. Imagine sticking up for the mistress rather than trying to make you feel a bit better. Whether or not you are devastated, you may end up feeling it later on, or not at all, but regardless, your friend should be there for you. I'm sure you're getting your ducks in a row. I'd reconsider this friendship if I were you. The audacity of your husband to have his mistress there and her delusion thinking he could argue with you about it, they can live in squalor together. OP said, yeah, I was actually very hurt by her not being indignant on my behalf. It stinks. I have always been on her side during all her breakups since we were teenagers. Damn her, really.
It stinks. The
Yeah,
last time I said it stinks.
it stinks.
That seems messy.
Lastly, someone said she was upset because she actually believes she has already won. He told her it's his apartment and that he will be kicking you out ASAP. She thought she was sitting in her new apartment at her kitchen table. She actually thought you were the outsider. I can't wait for her to find out the truth. Please update us when this shit hits the fan, and congratulations on standing up for yourself. This is the most satisfying post I've read all day.
Whoa.
I will say it's interesting her talking about like as soon as she found out he was having an affair, she's like, I just lost all feeling and I don't care. I'm like, that is like a
What is that about?
That is a real response that some people have, but it's like that's gonna hit you eventually. Probably.
Well, it's hitting her. I think as she wrote this, it's hitting
I think it's
her.
hitting her. I think it's hitting her probably more than she's realizing. It's easy when you get on and you write to be like, I didn't feel anything and I don't feel anything. It's like,
Yeah.
whatever
And then
you say.
all night you check the comments.
Yeah, it hits in
Yeah.
different ways for people. Someone also said, your friend sucks for caring more about the woman who chose to help hurt you than about you. OP said, I am having suspicions now about how her and her husband's relationship started, to be honest. He was married once before, but from what we understood at the time, he was divorced way before she met him. Now I'm not sure, or why would she be so empathetic to Mistress?
Yeah. The best friend is his ex-wife.
No.
No.
The wife used to be a mistress.
No. The best friend.
Hey, this is messy.
No.
We're gonna figure this out.
No, sorry. The OP is saying that her friend, her friend's husband was married before, so she thinks her best friend might have been
A mistress.
Wait. Oh.
Her best friend is relating to the mistress.
To the mistress, so it's not as complicated as we made it.
Yeah.
No, that's what she's saying. She's like, oh, maybe this was a situation she
A mistress knows a mistress.
Yeah.
A mistress
A
supports
mistress
a
can
mistress.
find a mistress.
I can't wait to figure out what mistress's name is.
Yeah.
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 Messy.
Very messy. Very weird.
Wow.
Update?
No update.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
But guys, we're moving on to. We're moving on
That's
to it. That's
To a hitter? Wait, what are we moving on to?
As someone who's been on Reddit a long time, these types of posts I have seen all the time.
Oh my God, here we go.
It is a tale as old as time on Reddit. It's a tale as old as time, I think, in general. Unfortunately. Here we go. It comes from the subreddit Today I F***ed Up.
Oh,
Guys.
Stupid idiot.
No, it's a tale as old as time. Get ready. Today I F***ed up by agreeing to a threesome with my best friend.
Last time. That's a Disney movie.
Truly,
Threesomes.
I have seen this post, or similar types of posts, so many times, and they are always so similar that the comments are all at this point just like, well, here we go again.
It's a couple bringing in one of the best friends.
Let's see, because it's
Let's see. I mean,
no. I think this is different. I
Might
think
be
this-
messier.
I think this somehow might be worse. No, it's always seems like it goes worse.
Could be good.
I, a 19-year-old woman, and my best friend, Eva, a 19-year-old woman, have been inseparable since 5th grade. Her and I are polar opposites. I'm mixed on the shorter side with brown eyes and hair, and a bit chunky, I'll admit, while Eva is white, blonde hair, green eyes, with a lanky, athletic build. She's very extroverted. I'm on the shy side. She's the one that got all the boys' attention. I was the supportive best friend. I've always thought she was the most attractive girl I've had the pleasure of meeting. Earlier last week, Eva said she's been watching a lot of threesome porn and started having thoughts about being with another girl. I'm bisexual myself and am pretty shy when it comes to sex, as I only lost my virginity last year and have had one sexual partner since. Eva, again, is the exact opposite. She's been sexual since her early teens and has been open about her sex life. We have always joked about being gay for each other. We give each other a quick peck on the lips when we have to go after hanging out. And we even made a pact that if we're not married by 30, we'll marry each other. So this led to me jokingly saying that we should have a threesome with someone to find out if she's bi or not.
I'm just joking.
I'm just joking. And she seriously agreed, which I obviously didn't turn down. We decided to make a Tinder account with both of us explaining how we just want someone, preferably a guy, as per her request, to join us with no strings attached. After finding a suitable match, we met up beforehand to explain the boundaries and rules we talked about. The next day would be when it all happened. For me, it was a great experience, and afterwards, Eva agreed. Now, as much as me and Eva are opposite, one thing we absolutely do have in common is our taste in men. I don't want to sound pretentious, but I do feel the man paid a bit more attention to me than Eva. Later, the guy we were intimate with gave me his number afterwards while Eva was cleaning up in the bathroom. I thought he did the same with her. This is where it all falls apart. After the fact, she said she knew she said no strings attached, but she wanted to see the guy again. I, of course, told her to go for it, but when she checked on Tinder to message him, he was unmatched. She wasn't too happy about it. I just said to text him, and she said she didn't have his number. Confused, I said, well, he gave it to me.
I have it.
Yeah, confused, I said, well, he gave it to me. She got absolutely furious, saying how that was selfish and rude, that I was trying to keep him for myself, and I wanted too much attention from men. I tried to explain that I thought he had also given her his number, but she wouldn't listen. We haven't had a fight this big ever. She hasn't called or texted me back since then. I feel like such a bad friend for letting a random person come between us like that. I will admit I did text the guy telling him the situation, and we have had a couple of conversations since. I just don't want 8 years of friendship going down the drain, especially if it's my fault.
You just qualified for some more
It's not your
upgrades.
fault.
It's not your
friend.
She's not
It's
your
not
friend.
your fault. It sounds like all those times that she was a supportive friend and got the guys, it sounds like she never even let you get the guys.
Or she's not used to not being the chosen one.
This
Chosen one.
not being the chosen. This threesome went very differently than most.
Me
others.
too.
Most posts.
I thought you were gonna say this way.
Hey, what?
Stop that.
Hey, what?
And I won't say to cut it out. You can leave it in because it's a simple mistake. I thought you were going to say this threesome went very differently than the way I
In
thought.
the way that this threesome is going.
Oh,
And
don't
that's
do
what-
that.
Most-
What? Who?
Most-
Oh, keep it in.
I think we all knew what thought we were getting into.
This is different.
We thought because most stories are about a couple
Yeah.
who then have a threesome and they always choose someone that they know.
Yeah, never.
And it always
Yeah.
goes wrong.
She was a no-name off the street.
The call
And even
was
then,
within
it's
the
sometimes
house.
Like, it's
The problem wasn't with the third. It was with the two.
the two.
no.
We had to open
And
the
you know what?
trunk.
Honestly, the problem was very different than what I was even expecting in that case. The problem existed before.
Yeah.
This setup is relatively fine. Like you're two friends,
Yeah.
you're in college, you have a threesome, and then that person, it's like if that person that is a stranger happens to be into one of you, it's just like that's how it goes.
I
and
also
whatever.
thought they were going to be into each other. Like, it sounds like they.
I know it was a weird setup.
But then I think power dynamics got in.
I don't
play.
think this girl even gives a shit. I think she cares about being the one in power.
Yeah,
And-
What were
That's
their
what I mean.
rules? Because they needed to talk
Well, I
about
don't,
that.
she didn't talk about. I highly doubt they laid out any ground rules.
My theater teacher. This is literally my
Hello?
theater. My theater teacher used to say this. She used to say, or not my theater. It was like my acting teacher. I don't remember. Somebody told me this in college. Everything in life is about sex, and everything in sex is about power.
Well,
It is.
That's a Michael Scott quote.
second, I don't think all sex is about power.
And I don't think all life is about sex. So
I don't think you should take
Well, I
sex
think
advice
all
from your
life is
acting
about
coach.
sex.
I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know what life advice you should take from an acting coach.
We're analyzing a play.
It's me, your acting teacher. Life is sex. Sex is power.
But I think this has nothing to do with the girls, who I thought were in love. I think it has to do with that girl and her ego
Yes.
being damaged.
Yes.
And I think it got in the way of what could have been a really special moment.
Yeah.
No, it sounds really sad. I mean, the way this girl's describing it, just like I haven't had many partners. I'm shy. I feel insecure. And then this guy happens to be into her, and her friend just cannot handle it. And it's not like she did anything. It's just this guy gave her number, didn't give her number. It's pretty clean cut right there. Can't really.
He liked her.
One girl got a call back, the other one didn't.
She needs to.
Call back.
I think unfortunately at 19, it's like
Glad I let that
you
go
need
to
to
voicemail.
reevaluate
Capitalist is
your
out.
friendship because this friend is going to continue to want to take from you.
Taking out shows,
and
big news.
And the
That's all
comments seem to
anyone's talking
agree.
about.
Yeah.
That's
Spotlight's
freaking
on us
garbage.
now.
You didn't let a
Let's
dude
make
come
sure it
between
stays
you.
there.
She did. She got
Hell
mad that he
yeah.
preferred you.
Yep.
You weren't trying to keep him. You
Yep.
encouraged her to go
Hey,
for it.
coming up
she
on the
should be
right.
happy for you, not mad at you. 6,000 upvotes. Someone said, you did nothing wrong. Give
are
her
we
some
waiting
time to
for?
cool off, but if she
Follow.
refuses to move past this, then the friendship wasn't as strong as you thought. I am sorry this happened. Fighting with long-term friends always sucks, and I hope
So,
she comes
We're
around.
really telling
sucks.
the cops?
Lastly, someone said,
could
I
go
do not
wrong?
want to drive a deeper wedge into
A
your
lot.
friendship, but just ask yourself
lot
this
could go
question.
wrong.
Has your friend, consciously or
text say
unconsciously,
anything
been
about where
friends
we're
with you
tailing this
only
cop
because
to?
she feels better about
Nope.
herself when she's
Guess we're gonna
around
find
you?
out.
Because according to
Hopefully
you,
not
you've
die
always been
trying.
encouraging towards her, and
I
she
think he
always
went into
had
the
all the
containment yard.
attention, and she now is not able to digest it the minute you are getting a little attention
I don't know
over
about you.
her.
This doesn't
That's
have
a
to
good one.
And there, you could read into a lot of like why she wanted to have a threesome with her. It's just like, is it this thing of wanting
Stop here.
to feel better? Like,
Yeah. Would she have a
and-
threesome with anyone
Looks
else
like
who
our
she
boy
thought
just
was
had
like
some
maybe
keys
hotter
tossed
than
to
her?
him.
Yeah.
that
Look,
comment.
and look,
Yeah.
I think she underestimated like a lot of guys. Like
We go
the male
forward,
gaze
they're
is
gonna
different
see
than
us.
what she
Try
probably
backing up,
thought,
go
and
the
it's
way
just
we
like
came.
this guy was into her friend. It was into the OP, like,
Ooh.
and this friend cannot
girlfriends
handle
are-
it. I don't know this guy. They both liked. That was both their type. Was into OP.
Can you imagine going on Tinder and seeing that post? We just want a guy, no strings attached, 2 hot girls. Can you imagine their inbox? Inbox?
Back when I was
forward, they're
back when
gonna
I was
see us.
single, I'd be
Try
like,
backing
I'm
up,
gonna
go
get
the way we
murdered.
came.
That's a murder.
Wow, I'm glad I'm not a dude. I probably would have died in the first 5 seconds. I would have been like, that's awesome.
Well, in this case, it would have worked out.
Actually, would have been great.
OP said, in response to that last one, I personally don't think so. She's been just as helpful and encouraging to me in the past. I'm very secure with how I look. but she is admittedly the
managed to
prettier
find out
friend.
anything about Torres?
But she has always helped me
Not
with
much.
my
Only
self-confidence.
she's part
Okay,
versus unit.
so I have, I'm thinking a lot here, where sometimes,
she's
and
telling the
I wonder if this works in male friendships too, but in female friendships, I've noticed sometimes there's, or just in any friendships, I'm sorry, it has anything to do with that. It's like who is hotter has more power
doing that
sometimes,
stuff.
even in just like
Money?
just like when you're like
Status?
two girls
Sounds
growing
familiar.
up and you're like, oh, the hotter she gets it because more boys like her, and yeah, and she has the better clothes and she is the prettier one. So yeah, like I just remember always being the friend, right? And like it was like the hot girl was like the one that called the shots and made the thing. And it just seems like she was the it girl, and then all of a sudden she wasn't.
Yeah, I don't
We need to be
relate,
quiet.
but I never
They'll
had
spot
those
us.
types of friend dynamics.
Yeah, I think it was like girl world in high school.
Girl world.
And it was just
Yeah.
like rough.
It's not just in high school.
Yeah, in college too.
I think a lot of people are.
I think it could be.
just in
It's
general.
not as like much now, but it's definitely
Okay,
Yeah,
we're
a
clear.
thing.
Let's go.
I always had groups of friends that were
You and
boys
Lucas
and
speaking
girls
it?
Yeah.
when I was
No.
younger. I think that was in the acting world. There was so many
Newsflash.
girls that like I was friends with a lot
Not
of
like
girls, so the dynamics were just not the same.
Yeah.
I never had like a group of bros that
Something
I
is
hung out
not
with.
But it is a little bit like
Something
Mean
about him
Girls,
and
where it's like
I
the
thought
hot
those
one
guys were
kind of, it's
You
Get
live
in,
with
loser.
Interesting.
we're going shopping. Like
Yeah,
it is a
she's the
little,
one who
Like
owns
he's
the
stuck in
car.
Malacca.
Yeah, or people who
Yeah.
went to high school attractive. Sometimes just start life being like, I'm incredible.
I think also if you get that type of attention in high school, it builds this
Okay, that's the
confidence
stuff.
that not a lot of
Think
people
we're gonna
get
need
to
to put a
build at a
foot down
young
to
age.
follow
So when
this
you
one.
start to build it,
Pull
it's
it
so
back.
strong that when you have a friend who doesn't necessarily have it and kind of attributes their confidence to that friend, they almost feel like they owe them something.
Yeah, well, there's a difference between
interesting.
confidence and ego. If that girl
Yeah.
was confident, having a guy not like her and like her
Agreed.
friend
Asshole.
shouldn't affect
Driving this thing like
her
it's his.
well-being.
owner
or
ever
her-
reported?
Like she should just be like, oh,
That
I'm
goes
still
missing, same as the car.
attractive,
It's our
cool,
word
and
against theirs.
awesome,
And
even if
our
this
word
guy
don't
I
mean
was
shit
into doesn't
around
like
you.
me.
It actually feels like
Right.
she's very insecure.
Yeah, it
and
sounds
not
like
confident.
it's actually,
all of her value is in men who like her, whereas this girl is like, I'm enjoying my life, I'm enjoying my friends. She's starting to build her confidence in a
Yeah.
healthy way.
yeah.
Yeah, it might also be a thing because I also think what happens probably with people. This is really reading into it. I have no proof of this, but as you get older too, I feel like things
Taking a
change,
left
and
down
like
that
maybe
road.
throughout high
Keep
school when they were
tailing, but slow down.
teenagers and they were really young, she was the prettier one. But now they're 19, they're 20. Like as they're getting older, maybe she is more attractive than she realizes as she's becoming an adult.
Pull up
And
here.
like
Yes.
she's not seeing
Yeah.
it, but her friend has to
Totally
accept
looks
that
legit.
too. I don't know.
She's
Let's
probably
find out.
owning it. She's probably just like owning herself, and that's probably what's really attractive about her.
Yeah, I
In
also-
high school, it's not just like in high school. It's like looks. I feel like as you get older.
And like I said, this other girl may be prettier by whatever standard, but she's not this
Of course, they
guy's
must be good
type.
before
Like,
Yeah.
so.
It's like such a
Race
young,
against some of
limiting
these.
mindset to be like, there's one type of attraction.
Exactly.
And
No,
then, like, I think
it's very
you grow up
silly to
and you're
me.
like, wait, all my friends, there's not the hot one. We're all hot, right? It's like,
Exactly.
we're all adults. We're all great. We're all, and it's not like this young, like, very childish way of thinking.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways, messy.
No update.
No update. I mean,
Damn.
hopefully it all.
What are they doing?
I wanted to know.
Amanda, some of these aren't going to have an update, okay?
Yeah, but I'm gonna ask every time.
Cool.
I'm gonna ask every time to just make sure.
Our next story comes from the Two Hot Takes subreddit. Our friend Morgan Absher over at Two Hot Takes
We love.
show.
Like Trump throwing money big.
X lied about having a child, and I'm being called heartless for
That's
not
not
staying with him
lovely.
in his time of need.
Did he lie about being a dad or not being a
For getting
dad?
your car back.
I,
Bastards.
a 24-year-old woman,
Okay.
met my 26-year-old man, X, last year, and we started dating in December. This was posted in May 10th. So they met and
Okay,
started
I'm a
dating in
Taurus.
December.
Screw Mercer.
Before we started
This needs
dating,
to
I
stop.
told him that I did not want
We're doing
kids
this?
ever.
We need a
I don't want
plan.
the responsibility of
We'll
a
figure
child.
something out.
My mom still hasn't accepted it, and I'm always told I'll change my mind, but I've never felt maternal. I've known since I was 16 that being a mom/parental figure was not for me. People always tell me I'll change my mind. He asked if I would date someone with a child, and I told him I would not date anyone with a child because that isn't what I wanted. He agreed and said he didn't want kids either. Things were great until about 2 weeks ago. I spent the night over at his house for the first time, and he seemed really fidgety with me being there.
Uh-oh.
He kept going into a different room, calling someone. I asked if there was anything wrong, and he said no. I went to his kitchen to get a drink, and I saw a...
Sippy cup.
I went to his kitchen to get a drink, and I saw a...
Capri Sun.
Leveled up to dad mug, and it had a controller with a mini controller. I asked him if it was his, and he just broke down crying. I was genuinely so confused. He started blurting out that his ex-fiance got it for him when she found out she was pregnant.
let me know if you want
She
any
had
work
their
done.
baby in August of
I'll just
last
take a
year,
look anyway.
but she passed away during childbirth. So the baby is almost a year old, but he liked me so much because I reminded him of her, and he really likes me and thinks I'd be a good mom because I'm a nurse, so I have some maternal instinct in my somewhere, which I don't understand how that translates. He says he was lonely and stressed out, that this was the first night in months that he hasn't had his kid with him. He always told me he had to be home from dates by 10 because of work. He gets up at like 6 a.m. I can't even describe how confused and weirded out I was. Not only that he hid that he had a child, but that he was really only with me because I reminded him of his fiance, and he wants a replacement for her. I told him I'm sorry about what he was going through, and it must be hard to be thrown into being a single dad and losing his fiance, but I am not going to be a replacement for her. I told him he should probably seek therapy to deal with it because he is still grieving. He tried to go on saying this is why I'd be a good mom, and tried to show me a picture of his son. I told him I had to go and we would talk soon. I took a day to myself and then asked him to meet up so we could talk, and he brought his son.
No.
I told him he was a really nice guy and he would make someone happy, but I couldn't be with him because I told him my stance on children. He lied about having a child, and I felt like he wanted me as a replacement for his fiance. I told him he needed time to grieve and heal. He tried to beg me to rethink, but I ended it and left. We met through a mutual friend, and I guess he told her, and she said, how could I leave him in this time of need? And she picked me for him because I was similar to his fiance, and I would be a good mom if I just had the chance, and this was it, and how could I ever be a real woman if I don't have kids? We are no longer in contact, but sadly I do have to work with her because that's how we met. I don't know why I told my mom this, knowing how she feels about me not having kids, but I thought she would be on my side or at least give me comfort. I was wrong. She said the same thing pretty much, that he was vulnerable with me and I should have tried to make it work, and how could she have raised someone who lacked?
To get that kind of pull,
Damn.
This story is making me boil over. These people that are putting this on this woman, of like,
this is
you're
great.
not a good woman, you're not a good person, how dare you give up on this possible experience? The fact is, she was very clear about what she wants.
Yeah.
Regardless of judgment of her, she was very clear, and he lied. It's so unfortunate that he lost his fiance. That is so heartbreaking, but he did lie, and he keeps saying that she's a replacement or reminds him of his fiance. That's some Black Mirror shit.
I wonder,
That is also horrible
I
to do.
wonder if she put her foot down about anything that wasn't a child, that wasn't what a woman should want, if they would push. Does that make sense? Like if she was like, I don't want to live in Europe, or I don't want to, like, I don't know, like her putting her foot down about not wanting to be a mom, I think is not respected because they think all women should want to be moms.
I just think a lot of
that is so biased and bad.
I just not believing her and just believing that all women are just...
And no matter what, she's allowed to want whatever she wants, but at the end of the day, I would never want to go into a relationship, even if I did like the kid or whatever, knowing that he lied.
Yeah,
And knowing that I remind him of his fiance who was passed on, he'll never live up to that, ever.
If she was my friend and she was like, if in a different situation, she was like, I want kids more than anything else in the world. And she's like, and I met this guy, his fiance died in childbirth like 5 months ago. And he says I remind him of his ex-fiance or his fiance who just passed away. I'd be like, do not get into that situation. That's not gonna end well.
No.
This is him in a horrible time of grief, trying to mend it by replacing you for his fiance who just died. That is not gonna be a solve. Somewhere down the line, years from now, this is all gonna fall apart. And that's not how this works. He's in a horrible place. He has every right to demand help from everyone in his life. He could be talking to his family, friends, and being like, I need help. I am alone raising this child. He has every right to be doing that right now. coming upon a stranger who and lying to them and trying to trick them into replacing your fiance who just passed away is the last thing you should be doing.
It's kind of giving like he's truly in grief. Like he doesn't even realize. He's like forcing.
In a way, knowing the whole story, I'm not as mad at him as I am the friend who picked her for him, knew the whole situation and set this up. He is not in his right mind right now.
Neither
is
the friend.
No, but the friend
is what?
Wild. I wouldn't say a friend. I would say that's
No, I think it sounds
a
like
coworker
not a friend.
who-
It sounds like it's a coworker who literally set her up to be like, you're a replacement.
Yeah.
And
No, and frankly, I think if I obviously can't relate, thank God, but if you have someone dear to you who passes away, I don't think your next relationship should be based upon they remind me just of them. That means you are not ready.
Giving grief.
He is not ready to be in a relationship for a long time.
also, where is the kid all day?
I don't know. No,
And
he
who
said this
drops
was
her off
he
at
said,
her?
he said this was one of the first times that he was able to be away from the kid, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I know he's a
Said
single
he
father,
did
so I'm
this.
sure this is really tough.
No, I bet it's so hard. And I bet
hard.
his friends, like this friend, whoever that person is, just wants the best for him, and they're like blinded by how bad this situation
Correct.
is. That they're not thinking about outsiders that are also have lives.
But the sheer fact is that she explained what she needs.
Yeah.
She explained that she was lied to, and then people are now against her. It feels almost like a bit of a
Messed up.
witch hunt.
There's no circumstances where you're allowed to lie and manipulate, right? He's in one of the worst situations a person could be in. You still don't have the right to lie and manipulate someone.
I think I'm just triggered by the less of a woman thing. I think
It's
it's really triggering because it's like all women can't have babies. So stop making that a woman thing. All women, unfortunately, some want babies and some actually physically can't. So I am so sick of people putting that pressure on women. It's like, well, don't give up this opportunity. It's like, well, maybe I don't even have the opportunity.
Right.
Like, I'm just like,
And
stop talking about having babies as like a normal, casual thing when a lot of people struggle to even have them.
And you don't even know what's going on in someone's life.
And even further, I think it's because obviously like would be her, not her biological child. I think it's this societal pressure of like, you're a woman, you need to take care of other people, and it's like. Damn,
A man was vulnerable. It's like, he won't do that often. Jump on that.
The bar is so low that he's like, he was vulnerable, so you better do everything to help his life.
No, he lied and he got caught. So
No,
then
this
he
is
cried.
very, very shitty. He blatantly lied. He said, "Oh, I don't even want kids. I don't even like." He's fully lying to
No,
her.
he's deep in grief.
They
right now.
tried to fully like horror movie trick her into this situation.
Or in his brain, he's like, I can take it back. I can rewind time.
I think
make
he's
this
not
go
well.
back.
Right.
He's not
I can
well.
fill this void quickly.
He's not well, and that's understandable. I feel bad for the kid. I feel bad for the whole situation, but like I said, there's no situation where you can lie and manipulate someone. A bunch of comments here. Every single person in this story who isn't you is a manipulative piece of shit. You have no obligation to become this guy's bang nanny. What a set of balls on your mutual friend and this guy. And your mother needs a timeout. You don't lack empathy. What you have is good boundaries and a healthy self-respect. If your coworker causes you any grief at work, go right to your manager/HR. Someone else said, if anyone in your life questions you about this, the answer is that he lied. Lied about his whole life. Whether it's kids, job, family, whatever, he lied. That is not the foundation for a relationship. Your work friend is a real piece of work. Lastly, someone said, you did the right thing by ending the relationship. He is a liar and a user. Your friend, who is also a liar, can step up and be his partner if she thinks he is so needy. As for your mom, ignore her guilt trip. It was never your responsibility to give her grandchildren or be a mom to someone else's child.
Correct.
Your duty in life is to create the life you want for yourself and take care of yourself.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Slay comments. Loving the comments.
I think the whole you'll change your mind thing is so f***ed up.
I gasped when you said he brought the kid to the park.
Yeah.
Because that is so manipulative.
Like, oh, once she sees the kid, it's really this like, such this messed up, outdated idea of like, oh, those instincts will kick in and you'll become a mother. It's like.
Also, we need to stop using our kids. We need to stop putting all of our anxiety and guilt and stress and worry into our kids. Like, what if we're putting all that in them and then bringing them along?
He's being so selfish in that moment.
And he's using the kid to seal the deal.
Look, I hope someday he finds a person who wants to enter his life and be
Definitely.
a parent to this child, but he needs to do that from a healthy place where he's no longer grieving, and he can't replace his wife.
What he should be
You can't
looking for-
replace his fiance.
Yeah, he shouldn't be looking for someone that reminds him of his fiance. He should be looking for someone that wants to be a mother.
Yeah.
He's looking for qualities, and you know what I mean? He's actively seeing a woman say to him, I don't want to be a mom. So he should walk the other way. You know what I mean? He should not. That's all he should be looking for, plus what he wants. But like, he shouldn't be looking for someone like his wife.
He should just be focusing on getting through being a single dad for 1 second first. And then, but honestly, I do wish him happiness. I really do. Like, grief does crazy, crazy things to you.
And then when he does like hit it off with someone who wants the same things as him, that'll be beautiful.
Yeah.
And it won't be like shoving a puzzle piece in the space that doesn't
Exactly.
No, I mean, taking it out of even this situation, like, can you imagine if you met someone who didn't have a kid, who was just like, yeah, I broke up with my ex last year, looking for someone who's just like her. It's like, you'd be like, all right, that's bad.
100%.
Is there an update?
There's no update on that one. I think she got out of that one. She fully got out of that
Yeah.
one.
Had to ask.
Yeah, I know. Because if you don't ask, he won't say it. is the rule.
Exactly. If I don't ask, he'll say
Yeah, actually, most stories have updates, but when we don't ask for them, I just skip them.
Yeah. People don't know that, so.
All right, our next story. It's another Today I F***ed Up. Today I F***ed up by canceling my roommate's favorite TV show. This didn't happen today, but many, many years ago when I was in college, my roommate was obsessed with this one particular TV show, which I was also a fan of, but he was very into it. He joined different forums and groups about it. He participated in chat rooms about it. He was obsessed. At the time, it was up in the air as to whether or not the show would be canceled. So, being an immature 19-year-old, I decided to have a little fun. I had recently found out about this service that would distribute anyone's article for free. Knowing that my roommate had alerts set up for everything to do with the show, I was fairly certain that if anyone was going to see what I was about to do, it would be him. I wrote an article announcing the cancellation of the show. I started it off making it sound very official and professional, and then deliberately threw some bizarre statements into the article, things that would never appear in any official announcement. I looked it over, sent it in, and promptly forgot about it. The next morning, I got up, jumped in the shower, and started getting ready for class. I heard my roommate shout, "Oh my God!" I walked back into the room and asked, "What's going on?" My roommate looked devastated. They canceled it. They actually canceled it. They're idiots. I asked him why they had done that. He proceeded to read the rest of the article out loud. As he reached the bizarre statements, he got a confused look on his face, held his hands toward the screen, and said, "What the hell is this crap?" I burst out laughing, and my roommate realized he'd been had. He shook his head. "You're an ass. Seriously, dude? How did you even get that out there?" We had a good laugh about it. He vowed to get me back, and I went off to class. Later that day, I walked into our dorm, and my roommate had a huge grin on his face. "Congratulations, dude. You're famous," he said happily. "What did you do?" I asked. "Oh, I didn't do anything," he replied. "This is all you're doing." He sent me a link and told me to open it up. The link opened up to a post on one of the fan forums of the show. The subject was the show's cancellation, and the post was a direct copy of my fake article. Below, people were reacting with devastation and pure outrage at the network's decision to cancel the show. They had overlooked the bizarre statements and had taken the fake article as an official cancellation of the show. I couldn't believe that it had spread so far. I read page after page of devastated fans mourning the demise of their favorite show, and then the mood shifted. The creator of the show posted on the forum after he was contacted by several fans. The post was along the lines of, "Well, I hope we're not canceled because I'm at the office and working. Now I'm fielding phone calls from my writers asking if they still have jobs."
My God.
"Oh shit," I said. My roommate burst out laughing. "Oh shit is right, dude. Keep reading." As I continued to read, the tide of the comments turned from angry at the network to angry at whatever f***ing head decided to pull this stunt. These people were out for my blood. They talked about tracking me down and beating the crap out of me. That was when I learned that my roommate was far from the most devoted fan. At least he found it funny. They wrote to both the network and the show creator, encouraging them to serve paperwork on the service I used to release the article in order to find out my IP, which would have traced to the college and likely resulted in disciplinary, if not legal, action against me. I spent the next 2 months thinking I was going to get expelled or arrested. Meanwhile, my roommate just laughed at me every time I got anxious and told me it served me right. The following month, the fake article was referenced by TV Guide and is still mentioned on both the IMDb and Wikipedia pages for the show. As for me, well, I haven't spoken about this in many years, and I'm still choosing to use a throwaway because my regular account has a bit too much of me on it. What show do we think it was? Oh, man.
Lost.
Maybe it was Lost. This feels...
It doesn't say?
Not as of yet, but what's funny is this clearly is old because I feel like this shit happens every day now.
I was gonna
with
say,
social
this is
media.
like early fake news.
Also, something that boils my blood, but everybody does it, is reading the title of an article and not reading the article.
Yeah.
Everybody does it. Everybody f***ing does it.
I do it.
Okay. When I was studying psychology, you taking like research classes, and they talk about research, and then knowing that whenever like a popular article or magazine or something says like, study proves this, like it's never believe it. Because studies never prove anything. Studies support the idea of something, but there's never a study that proves something.
Oh, no.
But then they post an article saying, study proves that drinking a glass of wine every night decreases cancer risk. And it's like,
Well, it does. Red
that's
wine
not
does.
true.
Yes,
no.
it does.
Red wine does.
Everybody knows that. A
it's-
glass of red wine, it
or
improves
your
heart.
life and decreases cancer
It
risk.
cures your heart. I've read so many article
Yeah, me
titles.
look.
You're crazy.
You're crazy.
Okay, but I'm saying just a title does not give you anything,
No,
and
but
they're manipulating the title to make you go like, oh wow.
But this is the issue with the internet. This is a really tame version of the scary shit that can happen when you give everyone the ability to like just be a reporter. Because you could just report anything. And this is like a tame version of what I feel like the last like 10 years has been.
Yeah. Comments. How well written did it have to be that the writers got convinced? The OP said, to be honest, it was pretty bad. On top of that, the company that put out the article made several edits to it before putting it out that made it make no sense. One that I remember was, we can't justify production costs, became, we can justify production costs. Someone on the forum even commented on how poorly edited it was. Someone else said, I think you'd be protected as it's a parody and it's not your fault they believed your lie.
What is the show?
Update.
Yes!
Okay, last guess. So this
Okay,
is,
I don't think
okay,
it's a
I can give you
show.
some hints because I know
Yeah.
the answer.
Okay.
It is a TV show.
I don't think it's a show.
It's a TV show. It is a
major that a
it's TV
showrunner would.
Right. It's a TV show.
Is it a reality show?
No.
No,
It's not a reality show.
it's
It's a show that did get canceled. So, and they were saying like, oh, it's a show that was always seemed like it was going to get canceled. It didn't run that long, but it had a very strong fan base.
Pushing daisies.
That's a really good
That's
guess.
a really good guess.
Like something that
It's
was
from
like,
a little bit earlier.
Roswell?
No, I like that guess though. Okay, I'm gonna give you a hint. It's a teenage girl and she's a detective. I believe-
Alex Mack? No, that's Nickelodeon.
Joan
Wait, she's a teenage girl.
Not Joan of
Not
Arcadia.
Harriet the Spy, the show.
Joan of Arcadia was
No.
such a funny show. Hold on.
She's a hot teen.
I think
The
maybe,
girl who was God in high school.
She's a hot teen.
but around that era, maybe a little bit. Yeah, around that era.
Alias.
No.
That's
hey,
too adult.
No.
Sabrina.
Sabrina.
All right, guys. No. Just woke up to see that someone guessed
Done.
correctly that it was Veronica Mars.
Mars! Veronica
I'm
Mars!
so dumb. Emily
You were
literally
thinking-
asked me if I knew Veronica Mars today.
Yeah, this happened in 2006.
Jesus Christ, Kristen Bell.
My comments may still need manual approval, so I don't know if they're showing up, but as promised, I can confirm that it was Veronica Mars and Rob Thomas joined the Television Without Pity forums to confirm the show was not canceled. The forums are since defunct, so the link on the page is dead, but here is where it was. But I know the show did get, it ended pretty, earlier than it should have. Or
I feel
people
like
say.
that's what they
But I know
touched
it was such a big deal that, remember, it got a Kickstarted movie? Sequel, I know that the fan base for it was
They did a
died.
parody of it and Forgetting Sarah Marshall, remember?
Yes, they did.
Of that?
I feel like this kind of thing, what happened here, happens in like gossip mags and politics all the time, where someone says something and they're like, oh my God, it's true. Oh my God.
Star
But
Magazine.
it doesn't really happen a lot in entertainment because you're like, Survivor was canceled. No
This
one's gonna
doesn't.
be like,
This wouldn't be as big of a deal nowadays because I feel like on Twitter every day some sort of false information spreads.
Veronica Mars.
Yeah, but back then this stuff would spread and the source would be hard to find.
Yeah.
So it's not because with the internet now you can just really figure it out immediately.
Messy.
Very messy.
You ready for the next story?
Yes, sir.
Got an Am I the Asshole post here.
Ooh, fun.
Am I the asshole for telling my husband he's too broke to be so sexist? Okay, let's hear him out. Throwaway account. So, my husband comes from a traditional family. Mom's a stay-at-home mom, father was a sole provider. I come from the opposite. My mother pretty much forbade me from ever being financially dependent on a man and drilled that into me early on. My husband worked hard to unlearn the values he saw replicated at home. He, often more than pulled his weight at home, was an engaged and present father and a genuine partner. The one thing that grinds my gears is how much weight he puts on the opinions of his family. I get that we all want our parents to be proud of us, but this is too much. My in-laws are staying with us for 2 weeks. Our usual MO is I prep breakfast, we all eat lunch at work/school, and my husband makes dinner. We have a cleaner, but she's on holiday, so in the meantime, we're do-it-yourselfing the cleaning, where it's down to everyone to keep their space clean, and common spaces we all clean. This is how we've always done it, and it works. My in-laws hate that I'm one of those modern women. They hate that I work, they hate that I don't find my purpose in being a wife and mother, and they hate that my husband pulls his weight at home.
Oh.
We spoke pretty frankly early on, where I established my boundaries and told them I won't be chastised about how I live my life in my home. When I am a guest in their home, I accommodate their ways and play the daughter-in-law they wish I was. They have, for the most part, respected this. I got home yesterday after work, tired and starving. I typically get home 6:15, 6:30, and we eat at 7 p.m. I said quick hellos and ran up for a pre-dinner shower. When I came down, I went to the kitchen to help set up for dinner and found nothing ready. I asked my husband about it, but he wouldn't look at me, and his mother answered that he hadn't cooked anything. She told me I needed to do my duty as a wife and cook for my family. My coward of a husband still wasn't looking at me. I just walked away and ordered takeaway. I dished up for me and my kids, and we sat at the table to eat. My husband and his parents served themselves and joined us. My mother-in-law was still going on about what was wrong with me and why I was a failure. I asked my husband if he had anything to say. He said his mother had a point and it wouldn't hurt if I acted more like a proper woman and took better care of my home and children. He said tradition was tradition for a reason, and it was kind of insulting that I thought I was too good for how he was raised. This is where I might be an asshole. I told him tradition won't allow a man on $35,000 to support a family of 5, and he was too broke to be so sexist. He looked hurt, and I saw tears welling in his eyes. He excused himself from the table. I regret saying this in front of our children, but him saying that to me after I'm busting my ass to clean up his mess, on top of having to deal with his parents, was too much for me. Am I the asshole?
Nope. You are not the asshole. You're asking your husband
Especially, in front of your kids saying, I wish you were more of a proper woman. Like, that's
so gross.
crazy.
It teaches them something that they've discussed as a couple that they don't want to teach.
I'm already pissed at him for tolerating his mom's behavior in front of, to his wife and in front of his kid.
Yeah.
Like, that already sucks that he's still like a child.
Did the mom say, don't cook?
I guess so.
Wait till she gets home.
Yeah, what was he doing? Just sitting there?
He was like, well, she's gonna be so mad. It's like, dude, buck the up.
Yeah.
Was he just like reading the other, like, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That would make me so furious.
Her response is not an asshole response because he was already such an asshole to her.
Yeah, I mean, no matter what, like, I guess it is assholey to, demean someone for how much they make.
But he demeaned her.
But
it absolutely is.
He beat her to it. Like,
she matched his asshole.
Yes. But it feels like she spoke out of anger and spoke because she was pushed from a long day.
Yep.
So she said that because she was so pissed. Like, sure, she said an assholey thing, but he's an asshole.
The ultimate reality is the nature of the economy and salaries and how expensive everything is with how hard it is to make money nowadays does not permit that traditional lifestyle that mom was used to.
Well said, yeah.
We have to live into multiple income households nowadays to even afford rent.
Correct.
But in this situation where it's just about pettiness of what they're doing, she had every right to be an asshole to him.
We don't always have the luxury to be a stay-at-home person.
I don't know how anyone...
The modern woman, it's like, what do you mean? That's the world we live in.
You literally, one of you has to make so much money for one person to not work.
And also, I'm so sick of women doing these things and getting blamed for it and chastised for it, where it's like, if he was out working all day, like he would be so pissed if there was no food there. This was working all day.
This feels like the mom a lot.
I mean, these older generation just don't understand the world.
Also, buzzkill that your mom is like taking over and you're whimpering in the corner. Like, to be honest, as a wife, I'd be like, you can sleep outside, bro.
He's a little baby.
Not cute.
Like,
He's simply a little baby.
it doesn't make you look less than when you're getting dinner for your wife. It makes you look less than when you listen to your mom eat
Exactly.
while she acts like it's the 50s.
It's okay that you make less and are making dinner. Like, what? That's hot. That is a man. That sounds f***ing hot. The fact that you're whimpering behind your mom is like, yikes.
Yeah, pathetic.
How is this still happening?
Comments.
Truly.
Oh, it's prevalent of just parents.
It's
that
so
still,
gross.
Yeah. Comments. Sucks the kids were there for it, but he deserved worse. Not the asshole. Should have ordered only enough food for you and the kids. OP said, I wanted to, but I couldn't quite bring myself to do it. Someone said under that, I love that you ordered enough. You did your duty and fed your family.
Yep.
So they can't be mad. And you did it as an income provider also. It's like a double kill them with kindness kick. That's what's also crazy. Like, the mom knows she is also working a job, but also expects her to still do this.
It's also a sick life, dude. My mom was always working and always came home late and had the best takeout for us. We'd be like, yes, we got CPK! Instead of like meatloaf.
Yeah.
Like freaking El Pollo Loco. It was awesome.
That sounds amazing.
Someone else said, curious, what is your salary contribution compared to his? I would find it even more hilarious if you are the main breadwinner. He had the nerve to say that to you. She said, I am the main breadwinner. He hasn't always earned so little. He made some bad decisions, nothing illegal or immoral, just stupid, which cost him his job and savings. This is what pissed me off more, that I'm working hard to cover the shortfall while he works on getting back on his feet, and he has the nerve to say that to me.
Yeah. I think he is also speaking from like anxiety and insecurity and fear and pain, because he doesn't feel good that he f***ed up and is earning less probably. But it's also like, dude, like, let go of your pride and ego right now and just, this is our home.
Yeah. So many men's insecurities leads them to want to belittle their partner in the hopes that they feel small and won't realize they
Can't complain after a
are
night like
so,
that.
so
Sad.
great.
Got him
But I'm
taking
like,
notice.
if you do that, you're gonna eventually push your partner away. Like, she is closer to divorce than she probably was before because he tried to do this to her.
Yeah.
The mom is feeding his deepest, darkest insecurities,
Yeah.
and
It's like you could buy some fancy new parts now.
She's validating those insecurities for him, and is like, you got to tell her, because the thing is, what's tough is like, I want to say the mom's a villain, but she's not. That's the way she was raised. That's the world that she was in.
But it's
that's
up
all
to
she
him.
knows.
It's up to him to protect his
He
marriage.
has to change
Yeah.
His mother, it's like when they got
Yep.
married, that's a them issue. Like, she has no say in his wife's finances or the way she lives her life.
It's up to him to set boundaries and protect his family, and they're going to be doing things different.
It's all ridiculous. It's amazing how much comes down to cooking. Like, I've pointed out a lot about
Cooking
how
and dishes.
many men do believe they should not cook at all is so wild to me.
Maybe because they grew up and they never had to cook.
And
they
just
never
like,
had to put their
but also
dish
this
away.
like resistance to it. This belief of like it is morally wrong to do it is crazy to me, because like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like when I got really into cooking, I almost, in my view, I think it's just a general cool thing, but I always feel like it's like when I'm doing it, I'm like, oh, I feel like a man when I'm
Like, you're providing.
Yeah.
you feel like such an adult. I don't view it as a gender thing, but
No,
I think if anything, moving forward, I feel like it's such an opportunity for families to do it all together.
Show love. Like, feeding your partner and your family is the definition of like protecting and providing and showing love.
Lastly, someone said, I don't even think it has to necessarily be some horrible thing that the kids know the family can't get by on dad's salary alone. Not being able to support a family of 5 on a single income is nothing to be ashamed of. I hope OP explains that to the children, and her husband for that matter. Frankly, the real problem here seems to be that the husband is a bit of a pushover, which is particularly problematic when he's around his bulldozer of a mother. Husband needs therapy, mother-in-law needs to back the off if she wants to continue being welcomed into their home. I also wonder what this situation was, just stupid thing, which cost him his job and his savings. What I feel bad for the kids is that they're seeing this situation where their parents are like throwing these insults at each other instead of communicating effectively. They're witnessing the mom probably giving them mixed messages. They're not getting like a straightforward like boundaries and being
Kids
taught.
are adaptable though. I do think that like kids know a lot and they'd rather, yes, you shouldn't fight in front of your kids, but sometimes it's like kids, it's better to just communicate with them what that was.
Kids aren't stupid.
No.
Too. Like they recognize what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Is there an
sad.
update?
There's no update on that one. All right. Moving on to our final story.
Okay, our final mess.
Here we go. This last one comes from Am I the Asshole, but it ended up on Best of Redditor updates.
Uh-oh.
You're gonna get all your updates here.
I do love it. Okay, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun.
Yes!
These
People
are the
are
best.
gonna reconcile or they're gonna come back for more.
Yeah.
All right, I hear this is a doozy. Am I the asshole
The league said
for
yes to
asking my
Top Shot
friends
Okay,
what flavor
cool.
their wedding cake
So,
is?
how do we start?
Seems
Step 1
harmless.
is for you to get your ride in prime condition.
We're
Then, meet our secret rendezvous with
What
me.
possible?
We have a secret
could it be?
rendezvous?
everything.
I know, right? I'll
What
ping
do you-
the
what-
location.
Because wedding
Now
is
go.
involved. Everything.
Food.
It's Raziel.
Cake.
Your car's ready
I,
for
a
pickup.
22-year-old
Head to the
woman,
docks when you're
am in
set.
the wedding party of my friends we will call M, a 25-year-old woman, and Ro, a 25-year-old man, who will be getting married in about 2 months. I have been really excited for the wedding since it'll be an opportunity for all the friends from college to get together for the first time in 2 years. Not to mention M and Ro are my best friends, or at least I thought they were.
Spike the camera.
Or at least, I thought they were.
We have a Discord for all the wedding stuff, and they have a channel about food. They've been really good about being open about the food they
thinking about the
intend to
plan.
have at the reception, including vegan /
Cha-cha.
vegetarian / gluten-free
Haha,
options
very funny.
for everyone and
I'm
answering
listening.
questions, so I didn't
was
think there
thinking we
would
should
be
have code
any
names.
contention if I
You
asked
should?
a question.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm not
about
really
4
a
days
code
ago,
name
I
type of
posted a
person.
message into the Discord
Oh.
asking, hey,
But if you
what
want
flavor is
one,
the cake
go
gonna
for
be?
it.
I want to mentally
Okay.
prepare myself,
You
LOL.
sure you don't want one?
I think looking back,
Pretty
my
sure.
choice of extra
Yeah.
words is what caused
Tell
all
you
of
what,
this, but I
I'll put
meant it
together
in the
a
sense
list
that
of
I have a
messages,
long documented
just in case.
dislike of chocolate flavored
Thanks.
foods like cake or
Cool.
ice cream, so I added it in the event the cake was chocolate. I received a private message back that the cake would be chocolate and that if I had a problem with it, then I could shove it, because it was their wedding, not mine. And I felt really taken aback by this response. Never did I mention that I would have been upset, and I certainly wouldn't have put up a stink about it. It's exactly like M had said, it's their wedding. I explained as much and tried to apologize for any offending I did, but she got even more defensive and started basically blasting me for implying that she was offended, and I was just left overall very confused. I gave it 2 days before I tried to apologize again and smooth it over, figuring she may have just been having a bad day, but I got shut down again, telling me she didn't need my apology because nothing was wrong and I needed time to stop trying to make it seem like shit was wrong between us and to just drop it. I texted Ro to see if I could gauge what was going on since he and I have always had an open dialogue about things like this, but he basically just told me he couldn't talk to me right now, and I have to imagine it's because M told him not to. It's been 2 days since then, and I'm just really confused. This whole thing has made me want to drop out of the wedding party and honestly not go at all. I wish Ro would talk to me and M would be honest. I can't help but think maybe I just don't get how
made it.
stressful planning a wedding
Meet
is.
Haley and
And like
Manta.
maybe
They're
they've
in the
gotten
league.
pushback from
Hey there.
other people on other
Let's get
things
on
and
with
somehow
it.
it's being taken out on me.
There's a PR
or
event
is it
for the
really a
showdown near
big
the
no-no
observatory
to
tonight.
ask stuff like
All
this?
the news people
I
are
don't
there.
know. This
We're
is
gonna
the
crash
first wedding I
party,
have ever
get their
gone to,
attention,
so
drag
am I
all
the
those cameras
asshole?
along to the chop shop and make some headlines.
Can we
Shove
go
it is
now?
making me laugh.
Hey, so
Right
shove
with
it.
you.
So hard.
It's chocolate, so shove it.
It's making me laugh so hard.
okay.
That was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Can I
Guess
say,
so.
she might have had a million people go, I can't eat this, I need vegan, I blah, blah, blah. And it was probably the last one. And that was the friend that she trusted the most to go, it's fucking chocolate, shove it.
And she's like, you know
I'm
what? Get
done.
off my ass.
Yeah, I'm done.
From everything I understand about weddings, and especially if it's like 2 days.
Can't believe
for-
we're riding with the lead.
Yeah,
This
stress,
is so
stress,
awesome.
stress.
in about 2 months. I know it's stressful, so if it's like,
Hey, check it out.
what flavors of the cake so I'm gonna be prepared? It's gonna be chocolate, so shove it. I'd be like, you got it. Like, it's just like, okay, like.
Also, I think the couple sharing all the food ideas with their wedding party is a mistake.
Because you're giving them a seat at the table. When you give them a seat at the table, then they can ask questions.
Godfather?
They can ask questions.
sure?
She was like, here's the food options. So then someone goes, okay, then what are the dessert options? Yeah. Get off my fucking back.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
well, you opened up the door to an entire wedding party of food. Never do that.
Look,
These are the food options.
And look,
Notice them when you're there.
There you go.
Okay, here's the thing. I've talked shit about dry weddings and all sorts of stuff, and I'm like, if I get invited to a wedding, I'm not gonna try to say anything. I'm just like, I'm going, and it's your wedding. You get to decide everything.
Yeah, you just go.
Like, if I show up and it's like, hey, for dinner,
Damn, you're
we're
gonna
having
give me
cardboard.
whiplash.
I'd be like, I guess we're having cardboard.
I bitch on the way home, but I'm not gonna bitch to the bride on a Disney.
Yeah, talk shit to your friends.
Yum, cardboard is delicious. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Cardboard is so
You guys are a beautiful couple.
Congratulations. The cardboard was beautiful. But
This cardboard pairs well with this
It
Merlot.
was absolutely congratulations. Hopefully you guys.
Why are we Mark Wahlberg right now?
Here's my question. Why? I agree. I agree with what the general
Holy
says, but I also am like,
You're racing
why
to the
does
league's
this guest
best
have to
and you're
be
handing them their asses.
True.
And I will say, I
True.
understand.
Give a mouse a cookie.
I understand with the amount of pressure of saying like, hey, what flavors of cake so I can mentally prepare myself. Is like.
It's a little rude.
And also, here's also a mistake I think. Here's a mistake. Writing things out and typing it out and sending it via that can be read so many wrong ways.
Did you say LOL after too?
Yeah, she did.
Nightmare.
Yeah,
Nail in a coffin.
if I would have just, I would not be asking that question to the bride and groom over Discord. I would have asked her to be like, hey, what flavor is your cake gonna be?
And then she just goes, boom.
Yeah,
Flies back.
I don't
It's
know.
chocolate.
I think there's a lot of history here.
Wait, so there's more shit happening.
Oh,
There's an
definitely
update.
an update. Okay.
I can't wait.
The verdict though was asshole, which, you know, I will say like, I think because I saw that verdict, that's also making me a little biased. But
I don't think they're an asshole. I think they're
worded.
I don't think they're. I think as of right now, to me, I'd be like, you're an asshole. But it's like, maybe you're an asshole. But I'm like, this is fine. But I would also, I'm going. Their response is intense, but maybe because they're stressed out, maybe because of underlying things.
I'd be like, that's Jack. He's an asshole. He makes everything about the cake.
Yeah, but I
Mark Wahlberg, right?
But I will say, her saying, I'm thinking about dropping out of the wedding party. I'd be like, you're making this about you. Okay. I do think sometimes, especially when they're dealing with the
When the
wedding,
news people see
her
this place, the
apologizing
whole
so much
operation is gonna be
and
blown.
like asking
It's
is
gonna
like
be
she's
epic.
making it about her, and it's like you're being selfish.
Back up. We told you to shove it.
Just walk away. Okay. First update from username Row apparently. Yes, the Row from the story.
Shove it through the chat.
God.
Not shove it. That was the bride.
Shove it
That was Em.
Shove
This
it's
is Ro.
betrothed.
This is Ro. But she reached out to Ro, and Ro was like, "Hey, I can't talk
I
right
can't talk to you. M's gonna
Okay.
kill me.
now." He responds saying, "Hey Izzy, not surprised you didn't share the whole story. You never do. Just like last year's surprise party for M. TLDR, Izzy here spoiled the surprise and tried to claim my present was hers. I'm Ro, the groom-to-be. I don't do Reddit, but my best man does and frequents this thread. He saw this post and it was so obvious it's you. This whole cake thing did happen, but it is not the whole story and did not go the way Izzy claims. First off, cake was not her only complaint. You refused to have a joint bachelor/bachelorette dinner because I have poor taste. You said my suit was tacky because I wanted white and not traditional black. You whined about the bridesmaids' dresses being purple because you wanted ivory. Any decision we've made, there's always a complaint. And M has done nothing but be patient and try and find common ground. She should not have to change her wedding choices for you. Second, we never told you to shove it. M only messaged you privately because she was tired of having to argue in the group chat. Everyone else is tired of your bullshit too, so we didn't want to bother them with it. It's a cake. Eat it or don't. Eat it or yeet it. You have hated me ever since I joined the friend group, and that's fine, but you will not ruin M's day because of your pettiness. If you care about her, then honor her decisions. Of course M is different, because she grew the up. All of us did except you. My God, you're f***ing 22. Stop acting like a spoiled teenager. Chocolate cake will not kill you. By the way, asshole, I'm 26, not 25. Pay attention. I wasn't angry about this until you decided to go on the internet for pity. It's pathetic and immature. For the record, M double-checked my response. She signed off on it. Get it together.
It's got nothing to do with
So
it.
we went from being like, you're kind of an asshole, to, you're apparently an asshole.
She didn't tell the whole story.
But you.
She didn't tell any of it.
She's like, all I did was ask what the flavor of the cake was.
Yeah.
Trust me, I know.
What
There's
a nightmare
plenty of
person.
blame
If you're
going
gonna go on the
here.
internet to a bunch of
Just
anonymous
plenty.
people and just tell a fake story just to feel.
I was gonna say the
You're coming
comment
with
when
me.
she said chocolate cake, she goes, so I can brace myself or whatever. It's like, huh?
Sorry, Luca.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel like a one and
exactly.
done.
That felt like
I'm not gonna ask again.
This is always what I think with so many Reddit stories of like.
they're hiding it.
Are you,
I can't
are you
believe
telling us
Rose
1%
going to
of
the
the story?
station.
Went on there.
The vitriol in I know she's
sit
the
tight.
most insufferable person
Back for
because
you
of the amount
later.
of vitriol in his writing. I couldn't help but just be like,
Yeah.
for sure.
oh,
You
he
became Ro.
He hates her.
Feels like this person has had a problem with everything.
Ivory bridesmaid dresses, that's white. Ivory is for the flower girls if you have them. That's basically white.
Careful, because you're eating chocolate
out of
cake.
this.
It's gonna get on it.
Careful. That's right.
What a mess. I love that. But caught.
She responds.
Yo, the station's back there.
Tell me she says
She's gonna try to respond at this point. No,
Where
if
we
you're
going?
this person
Shut up.
and that happens,
Watch.
you need to log off.
You know.
You need to log off. She
But
should have
she's
walked away before.
headed.
She should have walked
found
away
it.
and shove it, which apparently even didn't happen. Shove it was
you
never
mean
said.
Shove it is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my
It
life.
really
is.
But wasn't
Someone
said.
talked.
It was
And I
apparently not
wanna
like
know
that. Okay, update
You're not
from
saying
this lady.
anything.
It's pathetic and immature to anonymously
Think I'm
post
playing?
asking for
Tell
advice
me.
on Reddit, but you coming here starting shit and posting
wanna
my
know who's
real
running
name
their
isn't.
big mouth?
Okay, Marcus.
We ain't saying shit.
Since
until
we're
you
not
let us go.
hiding anymore, how
You're
does it
gonna
feel
talk,
to have your
'cause I'm
shit
gonna
aired
make
for
you
real?
talk.
Here's
And then you know
how
where I'm
I
headed?
know
Right
M
back
didn't
to
sign
your
off,
dumbass
because she
brother.
never would have
And I'm gonna
agreed to
see how
using my
tough
real
he is
name.
when I
You're
bring
just
that
trying
piece
to
of
get
shit
me
garage
upset at her
down around his
too.
head.
She's my best friend, and I should have known. You always try to manipulate us into being mad at each other. Case in point, when I had planned this really awesome dinner for just her and you had to plan her surprise party for the same day. I just wanted alone time with my best friend, but you couldn't wait one day for the party. M has known me far longer than you, and no
here we
offense,
go.
I'm sure I know her better than you do. But I've kept my mouth shut because I love her and just want her to be happy. I complain about everything, then how come I've never said anything about the hundreds of times you've made M cancel plans with me to go hang out with you? I just wanted my BFF to
You want me
spend a
to
little
drive?
time with me. We're not allowed to have sleepovers anymore because it makes you uncomfy, or take a girls trip for the weekend because it's too
Hold on,
expensive.
wait.
Sorry you can't take care of her like I can. Some of us can afford rent. Clearly this was never about the cake and more so about you hating me. I was fine when you joined the friend group, but you clearly weren't fine with mine and M's relationship. You've been the same towards some of her other friends who I'm sure would agree. Get a life, Marcus. Stop trying to take mine.
Oh
Step aside,
my
sweetheart.
God.
Go, dude.
Let me tell you now.
I'm
just getting started.
This fucking rocks.
This is so relatable. When best friends and a boy comes in,
Oh my
it
God.
gets
Literally,
scary.
sometimes the depths of hell.
The depths
are
of hell.
when two best friends, when a protective best friend gets pushed aside for a boyfriend, shit comes out.
It's nasty.
Oh, I've
like
seen some gross shit go down.
it's a worse breakup than a marriage.
100%. I think sometimes
I've experienced it.
Yes, no, I've seen some crazy shit.
I've experienced it, and
Hey,
it
Des.
gets nasty.
need a
When
favor.
sleepover part, maybe go.
Sure, what's going
Oh
on?
God.
Can you and some
Oh
friends pick up
God.
my cars from
Oh
Casa
God.
Rivera and
Like
bring them up to
and
North Cloud
it's
Bank?
just it's
I
this.
guess. Can I ask why?
And it's like
Cops
you're
are watching
here's the
out
thing.
for us, and we
There
can't
are
go
so
back
many
there.
layers to
Keys
this,
are on
even
the
though there's a
hook.
clear
Layers.
Just
asshole.
get the cars and I'll
I
send you
will
the address
say-
when you're on the road.
Well,
People,
You would
when they're
Lucas?
girls,
Okay.
when they're losing their best
I know the
friend,
place.
and you're single, and you were both single girlies
Where the
out
hell are we
here,
heading?
they're like, Sometimes they get really mad.
They get really, really mad.
Honestly, I'll be frank. In college, I was this way. My friend was
I
like,
hear you're still in police
she got a
custody now?
boyfriend and started being
Taurus,
so different,
your
and suddenly I was like,
plan nearly got
I
us
hate
killed.
him. I hate her.
Just
Oh,
give me
so
the
it's
laptop
you.
and
No,
stay
no, but
out of
I
this.
think I've been on both ends.
You've got
But did
no
you
idea
take it
what's
out?
there.
No, and I didn't go.
now
It's
you're
crazy.
You're allowed to feel. You're allowed to feel.
Yeah, but some people,
the
some people
laptop.
lose.
I have experienced this, and it has gotten a little bit bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it's gotten almost
this
like
it?
I burned her house down. Like I ruined her life. I left her and the family that we don't have. Like we can't cuddle anymore, like we can't sleep over anymore. And I'm like, when were we doing that really before?
This
it
is
gets
insane.
very, very, very messy.
I
And
must have driven
it's
past
unfortunate
her a
because it's like
million
it's so easy to blame the woman who's like on her
is
own and
this
she lost her
place?
best friend. It's so easy to blame it, but it's
And
so
everything's
much
got
more
bad at
than
home?
that. Because then the boyfriend comes in and is like, this is all mine. This is all my territory.
It gets so layered.
so messy.
But let me say, I mean, this
is too far, though.
situation is
This is too far.
Okay.
What happened?
There's more?
Oh, guys, this keeps going. All right. Marcus responds.
Marcus! He's like, meet me on the thread. Meet me on the thread.
This is between Marcus
this
and
race?
Izzy. Holy
I didn't need
Marcus
it, but
responds to
I was
Izzy.
always pushing,
The
you
plan
know?
was for you to distract her while we set up the party by taking her to a
Cops
movie.
busted
Not
it.
going to the movies, then taking her to dinner and telling her of the
Came down
party.
for my phone
We
call.
waited hours expecting y'all to be back. I have never
He
once made
answered.
M cancel. She
I was
always
getting
did that
ready
on
for
her
the
own, and not frequently at all. You have had
Forget
plenty of
about what I
time
was
alone
gonna
with her.
say.
Just because she spends time with me too doesn't mean I'm forcing her to. And yes,
For the
a
first
trip to
time,
multiple
there was
countries across Europe is very much too expensive.
shouting.
We already live paycheck to paycheck, which you
nothing,
know.
just
I know money isn't a
silence.
concern for you, but it very much is for us. Not all of us have apartments
don't
paid
know.
for by dad. Nobody else seems to think the
3
same
hours
things
later,
about
I'm just
me.
still
And
waiting.
if I'm wrong, I will gladly listen and change. But that
Figured he
requires
was leaving me in
communication
there to
directly,
sweat.
not anonymous Reddit posts.
Making me
You may have known her longer, but you clearly don't know M well. You fail to see how
spent
miserable
that
your
whole
comments
night
and
in that
attitude
jail
have
cell.
made her these past few months.
Cursing his
For her
name.
sake, knock it off.
Wishing all kinds
Knock
of shit
it
on him
off.
just for leaving me in
Oh
there.
God.
Knock it off, shove it.
Yeah.
Get out of my life and
Knock it
shut
off.
up.
Will you shove it? Virgin,
Next
knock
morning,
it off.
Knock it off.
Cop comes in.
Dude, he is airing out. Daddy
Doesn't
paid
mean
for
he's
the
dead.
apartment. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna tell them.
She
about
started
the
it
bad
though.
part.
She started it though.
And if I
As
know
soon as he hung
her,
up
she
the
came
phone,
back,
he had the
didn't
heart
she?
attack.
Oh yeah.
Of course she did.
Let's hear it. Let's hear
Of
it.
course she did. She probably refreshed this page until it was there.
I love that we're getting in the
Sorry, I
weeds
never
of this
told you.
surprise party bullshit.
Yeah, I know. The
He's like,
surprise.
we waited there for an hour.
Yeah, and they're all like this. Is she
You're
there?
carrying this whole time?
Happy. Oh God, she's not
pretty
there
hard
yet.
not to.
Oh, but what about
That's
her?
so messed up to like have
Okay,
a,
you can't
a
blame
surprise
yourself.
party planned and be like, okay, you'll
It's
take her to
not
the
your
movies and then
fault.
come back, and then she just
I
like
had
goes
just
to dinner
started
afterwards.
Em
earlier.
is
If I just
probably
listened to her.
so
You can't go back.
stressed out right
She's
now.
just
and
like,
Oh
I
yeah.
can't imagine
You're
I'm about to
with
get
us.
married and my
Right now.
f***ing fiance and my best friend are
That's what
having
matters.
this happen.
And
I would die.
He's
People out
villainizing
there trying
her
to tear
to
us
her,
apart.
being like, look what he's doing. Look what she's doing.
And the only one
Everything
losing is
we
M.
stand for.
Julie,
Truly.
Everything Papi
God.
built.
knock it off.
Knock it off.
All right, Izzy responds.
Stop it.
Come on, Izzy, here she comes.
sure
Here
someone's
she
gonna let him.
comes.
Here she comes.
Paid by daddy?
Are you?
Real mature asshole. You know I work hard like everyone else. It's not my fault my parents made better decisions than yours and can actually
take
help
him
their
down?
kids.
Right.
All right,
Least
she
I
just
can do
lost.
is make sure we got the
She-
wheels to do it.
Ah,
lost
Izzy,
before.
Izzy, don't do that move.
Izzy's been
She's been
throwing
losing a
rocks.
while.
Izzy's coming back with the iron claw and she's using it on herself.
Now we're
Oh,
talking.
you're shaming his parents
this
for
is
not
part of the
making enough
plan?
money.
Ah, you just blamed everyone's parents.
Down on the field, Izzy.
You just
Merce
insulted
has footage of us on
everyone.
here.
And of course, I
Gotta be
wasn't
more
just
strong
gonna
the whole
take her to the
operation.
movies on her birthday,
Enough to
a
take
ruse
him
or
down
not.
and
I was
prove
gonna
to the
kiss
league
her
that we
too.
had
I was
nothing
also
to do
gonna
with
have a
this.
threesome with her and this guy we met. And of course, I wasn't just gonna take her to the movies on her birthday, a ruse or
You
not.
gotta
It was
crack
still
this,
her
it's all
birthday,
we've
and
got.
she's my friend, and I love
Let's
her,
take a
and
guess.
wanted her
Does
to
Mercer have a cat?
wanted to take her to an actually decent meal other than the shitty pizza
gonna
you
pretend I
brought
didn't
for
hear
her.
that.
Oh, you
Also,
got a
yeah,
better
maybe
idea,
you didn't
Jimmy?
tell M to cancel, but
I do.
knowingly asking for plans
Wait
when
here.
we had them is basically the same thing. Before you, she was fine. She had everything she needed.
Me.
And for all of you in the comments saying I have a crush or want to M, you're delusional and know nothing about me. We're best friends. I love her. She loves me. Not my fault we have natural chemistry that everyone over the internet can feel, but it's not like that. Marcus?
We're not saying that because we feel anything.
We don't feel it. We're being told it.
No, I think you're saying
We're gonna get hit.
Marcus, you're an asshole. You've been an asshole since day one. Just admit you're not the guy who can give her what she needs and move the on and leave us alone.
Everyone on the internet can feel our chemistry. What do you mean?
What the
I don't feel
M
any
is not
chemistry.
here. Final update from Marcus.
He's gonna end it.
Oh.
You're proving my point. I'm not going to argue over Reddit anymore over this, especially if you're going to talk about my parents like that when you know full well why they aren't rich.
No.
Either message us in private or drop it altogether. If this is how you really feel, don't bother coming to the wedding.
Mic drop.
Shove it, Izzy!
All because I knew it.
I think unfortunately, with all we have to work with Reddit posts, her saying about their parents who don't have as much money as her parents, it's not my fault that they made better decisions and can actually help their kids. I'm like, you lost me.
Yeah.
You unfortunately lose me with those types of statements.
I mean, there was
And
a lot of statements she lost.
I
on.
think
She lost me,
And
but
we
it's
are
like
giving her-
that's a character shower.
I think what's hard too is like I can see that the commenters were like, "Oh, you're gay for a lesbian or whatever." It's like, that's so gross to think like that. There are actually best friends who are like family, and I
No,
get
for
it.
sure. And when you're being a girl and like I don't know, being a single girl like in your 20s,
Yes.
that bond is so deep and so strong, and it doesn't have to be.
I would say it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
in this
matter.
situation.
Yeah, but then it's a betrothal to her, right? And she's feeling, and it's bringing out a monster.
Well, she's
like,
not respecting M because M has made a decision. She's getting married to this person that she's making a commitment to, whether he's a man, woman, whatever. She made a commitment, and it's like you either go with us or you don't. And I do think the cake question was a deeper question.
she got caught. She got caught.
got caught.
I'll say I don't know if this is.
What are you doing here?
If this is
I
like
need your help.
devil's advocate or a
Well,
bad thing
I don't
to say,
need this
but
kind of
I
heat.
think at some
Every
point,
cop in the city is looking
I
for
feel
you.
like I would have
That's
wanted
because
Marcus
we've got a
to step
chance to take them
aside
down.
and this be
We've got a
between-
laptop full of evidence that will put Mercer
I do
away for
kind of
decades.
agree with
it was
you.
kind of
Trouble
like
is,
my
it's
toy,
password
my
protected.
toy, my
Yes.
toy.
Is that
Rather
wrong?
than it,
Hold on.
M being like, these are my boundaries.
Yeah.
If you love me, you'll respect
I
my
just
boundaries.
sent you
like
a
Because
package.
what
Put your
Izzy's
phone
using
near the
against
laptop,
Marcus
and it should
is
have it
being like,
unlocked in a
M doesn't
couple of
want this.
minutes.
M doesn't want this. So
Wow.
we can stop that way
Thanks.
of thinking by entering
Just
the
be
chat.
sure to make
and
it
it's
sick.
like,
You know,
hey,
if
these
you can
are
take
the things
down
I
those
want. I
cops,
need
you'll
you
be
to treat
doing
my
us
fiance
all
with
a
respect.
favor.
And then I
Now
need
get
this
out of here.
birthday party to go this way or whatever.
So right.
I think in many ways, I see that. Although I think Izzy's ultimately the biggest asshole here.
Yeah.
I'm sending
I
you
can
some
see why the
software to
argument of
unlock the
Marcus
laptop.
is an asshole too.
Just put your
I
phone
know
next
it's
to the
anonymous,
machine and it
but
should
it's not
open it up
anonymous to all their
automatically.
friends. It's not going to be anonymous to the whole wedding party.
got it.
And this whole thing is now going to make. This is what the topic
And
of
M
conversation
could be
is.
so freaking exhausted.
Oh, M is probably exhausted, but this is
I'm on my
what
way
they're
back
all
to
going to
you.
talk about.
I'll be
And
there
honestly,
soon.
this is what a lot of the friends are going to remember from this.
M said, don't talk to
Something's
Izzy
happening.
because this is what
Looks
she
like it's
didn't
waking
want.
up.
To be
We're
honest,
in.
both of them are
The
not
password screen
respecting
is
her
gone.
boundaries
I
at
can see
all.
a bunch of folders.
No. They should have. I think if Marcus saw this, he should have told
Well,
M like,
not
"Hey,
me.
she made
I
this
just
post
know a
online
genius.
about this."
And they should have.
And then it should have been like, "What do we do from here?" But like,
Because at some point, it's ego.
yeah, Marcus did say in his first post that M read it and gave the sign off for him.
But then Izzy said, I don't believe that because she would never use my real name. I don't know who to trust.
But if I was M,
I
I'd
don't
be
think
like,
so.
I'd be like, I'm signing off, but don't get in there because it's gonna get dirty. Like you know what I mean? You're throwing.
I think the reality
Fire.
is here's Izzy saying like it's her best friend, but she
hear
doesn't
that?
respect her friend at all. She wants full control.
I don't think either of them are respecting what M
No,
wants.
change of
Do you
plan.
feel like
We hit the
friends
road
with
with the
all of them
laptop. and
Yeah,
by
I want to go to this wedding.
You know, I really feel that
Wedding
chemistry.
I really feel like because here we are. We're like, but Izzy wanted this. No, but M wanted this.
And she just wanted the brides in purple dresses and not ivory. Oh,
No, but I'll tell you what it is. It's messy.
very messy.
It is.
So when is the wedding and when should we head there?
The wedding in about 2 months. The wedding will be happening not yet.
Okay, hold on.
So there could be
Help
a,
us find this.
Let's go. Imagine Smosh crashes the wedding.
And we just bring copious amounts of chocolate cake.
Oh my God, and we have forks and we just go, I'm excited to try the cake.
I don't think there's any world where Izzy's gonna end up at this wedding.
No, but we should be there.
I think she is.
You think so?
I think Izzy is 100% not gonna let her best friend get married.
Not unless we stop her.
I think Izzy is gonna show up 100%.
Whether she's invited or not.
Correct.
I need more updates. I need more updates. Wait, I've never been invested in a Reddit story. I need more updates on this because the wedding's gonna happen. Who's going? What's happening? What's the cake?
Well, Rose going.
There are ultimately bigger messes that we read today, but this one is the best one. Because this is some like Vanderpump Rules shit.
This is
Right here.
Bravo. This is Bravo.
This is dumb. Because the heart of it,
Because they're arguing for ego, not for like anything.
the heart of it has to be stupid as hell, right? It is. You're right. It's pure ego. There's no actual like. I mean, there's stakes that it's a wedding and stuff, but like nobody's dying. No,
That's
there's no,
why
like,
all the-
Whereas like the child one earlier is ultimately the messiest situation.
But that's why you saw Vanderpump is a great couple.
That's sad. That wouldn't be reality television. This is reality television.
Yeah, it's
a
for
producer.
the Vanderpump girlies. It's James going, it's not the pasta.
No, a producer would hear about Izzy and be like, "You've got a show. We're giving you a show on TLC."
I mean, I got chills when you said the wedding is in a mug. I'm like, maybe we can watch.
Maybe they'll live stream the wedding.
Right? You know what? That's probably toxic of me.
Oh,
That this person.
yeah.
It's on Reddit.
Yeah.
It's
I know,
on Reddit.
but I'm just gonna take a step back and recognize.
Well,
They're still anonymous to us.
life is sex and sex is power.
Yeah.
So,
Power is cake.
and power is king.
Power is asking what kind of f***ing cake it is to the bride and groom.
I need more updates. I quite literally like need them.
Angela, you have to ask, otherwise he won't give it.
I have some
sorry.
airline points. I will go anywhere.
Whoa,
Look.
maybe it's in California.
They're like, who's this squirrel girl that's just like hanging out?
They're really
What is
going
this
for it.
squirrel girl? What is this squirrel girl thing? It's the second time you said it.
Yeah, what the hell?
I don't know. What do people call me? A hamster? Gerbil? Something?
A squirrel is very
It's
different.
all the same shit. It's all gerbil.
That was messy.
That was nasty.
That was really.
I can't get over it.
I need to watch this wedding.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that, because that was crazy.
I can't believe it's over.
Yeah, that was a ride. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, I
Yeah,
guess, for
that was
having us.
incredible.
I'm disturbed.
Let us know what other themes and subreddits you'd like for us to cover
You'll have to
on the
try
show.
harder than that.
And we'll see you next time, next Saturday. Bye.
Bye.
Saturday morning.
Saturday morning.
Get your pancakes out.
stories.
Out of the oven.
Get your pancakes out.
Hey guys, I'm really sorry back there.
No message sent.
Yeah, that
Yeah, that was weird.
We did it.
Now get rid of that